about
Bruno.
Crucible since Tuesday. I assume you hopped in a few matches, Kato. Don't worry if you don't have a lot of.
I've spent the last 2 hours in there.
Nice. Okay.
He was prepping. Cram session.
Yeah. And then however long that is, we have kind of a short twab. One interesting thing with whatever legacy focusing is going to be. But anyways.
Legacy Panda.
I need to read the top.
All right. Get us started, Sen. Do a countdown. Oh, wait. We need the bots.
I'm already ahead of you.
They are there. Yeah. I wasn't looking since they were there. I only saw Moose and then.
That's because you were like, let's get us started. I'm like, fuck, I don't have the bots in.
But you do.
But now we do. And you're starting in 3, 2, 1.
That was fast. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 184 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we bring in the bots right before, and we talk Destiny, interview guests, and talk about our love of the game. Close call there. We almost didn't have a recording, but hey, we wing it. We make it work. Sin was quick on his trigger fingers.
Whoa.
Hey, we got Sin tonight, we got Dez, and we got a special guest, Kato, and I'll explain more in a second why. But how you guys all doing tonight?
Magical, with not as bad of a cough this week. Dez?
I'm doing. Just entirely spaced out there for a second. Ooh, all right. But, right? Just entire La La Land. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm making it. It's getting cold.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is getting unreasonably cold very quick here.
Well, good point. I had to weatherize today. I did my last mowing of the season just so it would look nice throughout the winter. And because starting on Sunday, low 30, high 40. So I'm like, okay, time to turn off the water system outside and no more watering the lawn and drain the pipes.
Yeah, we're already hitting 30s in the morning, so past 2 mornings have been mid-30s, and like I said, it was a bit of a shock.
Yeah, because it went from 70s, and then all of a sudden on Sunday it's going to be 40, but then it's going up a little bit again after that. But sometimes I don't understand why the weather has to go from 70 to 40 or 50. Why can't we have like 60s for a while? You know?
Right.
I feel that on so many levels.
How is it where you're at, Kato?
Let's see. Tuesday, Wednesday, we had a high in the 50s, and it was below freezing at night. And then today it was 80 degrees. So, yeah. Welcome to Kansas. Shit sucks.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if around next Tuesday she'll start getting colder again, because sometimes the weather patterns move west to east, at least for precipitation. Yeah. So I wonder what you'll get next week. But yeah, let's not be so dramatic. Muffin in the chat saying we're all wimps. But you know, it's just the shop talk to get us started at the beginning. Remember, everyone, if you're listening to the show, we have a live chat every week as we record. Join the Guardian Hub Discord, and you can listen in live if you want to, most Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, we have
God's time.
What's that, Sin?
God's time.
God's time. If Eastern is God's time. But Mountain is where it's at.
Nah.
I disagree.
It's interesting, that's for sure, because I would think that we would have more people that we play with and in our Discord that are, I mean, obviously Eastern the most makes sense, but then I know of a few people in Pacific time, but why aren't there more? That just doesn't make sense because huge population of the U.S. is on the West Coast too. Maybe they don't even try to play with us because they know the time zones won't work out as well.
Probably.
Huh. Anyways. Let's get to what we've been doing in the game, and then we have a couple small topics tonight. So we'll start with Kato. Anything interesting besides Crucible? We'll talk about that in a second, but anything you've been doing since we last talked to you? And by the way, Kato's been a guest on the show before, and a great member of our community, ambassador also of Guardian Hub. So, if you don't know Kato, check out the previous episodes. I'll look that up in a second, which one, but great member of our community. But yeah, what have you been up to in the game, Kato?
You can also tag him at new HR, by the way.
No, don't do that.
Not a lot. Last night was the first time I've been on all week. Ran a
Yeah.
Sherpa raid and hopped on the night. That's about all I've done in the game. I haven't even touched the Festival of the Lost crap. It's just meh.
Yeah, and that has just started a couple days ago. But I mean, last couple weeks in general, anything interesting? You raid a lot with us. Anything kind of sticking out in the game? How do you still like the King's Fall raid, or are you getting bored of it at all, or what are your thoughts in general?
It's still fun. It's still fun to bring new people through. I did get my Sherpa emblem. Been doing master runs. That's been fun. Not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I definitely do feel like it is easier than Vault was initially for the master aspect, but kind of personal opinion, it's not as technically difficult. It's really just it's just DPS checks. I mean, a couple of people run Aeons and you're fine. That's really the difficult part.
DPS checks and the tolerances on the timing are there still, but you're right. It's not hard what we have to do. It's just very particular on how quickly we have to do it with having that DPS check.
Yeah.
I was wondering because they said, I mean, we all know King's Fall, even in D2, it's a longer raid, and it's funny, it starts a little harder and then gets easier, but all in all, we wouldn't say it's the hardest raid by any means. And so I was wondering for Master, they even said like, oh, it's going to be a challenge, but like, how much of a challenge is it going to be? Like, they were kind of trying to talk it up too much, in my opinion. Like, is it going to be harder than VOG and VOW Master, or is just going to be a lot harder than normal King's Fall?
I mean, I kind of agree with that they talked it up too much. I feel like the added difficulty is, we're just going to throw more champions in there.
But even luckily with that, they didn't do too much. Well, except for maybe totems, they might have overdone it. But the other areas, I don't feel like the champions get too much in the way.
Yeah, it's going to be
harder.
It's going to be harder this season than I think next season, because it's just like Oryx, for example, is overloads, I think. And this season we have overload bow and overload machine gun. So it's either you swap out your linear fusion that you're using for DPS, or you put on a bow and get swarmed with ads. It's just meh.
Yeah. What do you think, Sin? You've hopped in at least part of one, didn't you, once? I'm just trying to think of...
Master?
Yeah. What your general thoughts are for the amount you've experienced,
Golgoroth. Champions weren't awful there. They replaced the Knights. I think that was probably a good place to put them without making it too overbearing of a difficulty. And I don't think the ads, even at the power level that I was at the time, were awful. That encounter really isn't bad at all anyway. It's just a large DPS check. Yeah, I think you might run into some difficulty with, in the pool area underneath Golgoroth with some of the ads while you're doing DPS. Some people might struggle if you don't have a well or healing rifts. But no, I don't. Difficulty wise, I don't think it's as difficulty as Vogue.
Did you hop in even a little bit? I'm trying to remember for totems, because I think that's still kind of one of the harder ones.
I think we tried it a couple
Master.
times one night, but it wasn't progressing, if I remember correctly. So we just hopped into normal. So I didn't really give it the good old college try there.
It's just because you have to be, even on normal, of course, but on Master, you pretty much have to be by yourself and really hold your own with much higher level ads and the possibility of having to take down a Master level champion all on your own, which means hitting it perfectly. The ogres come out of the ground. You don't want to do it too early. And they take 2 shots of Galahorn to take down versus 1. So if you don't have everything reloaded perfectly, if the ads are messing you up and you're using some Galahorn on other ads, and then it can be quite difficult just kind of holding it on your own. You know what I mean? Again, one of those things that if you do it a million times, which I did with like 4 different groups, after hours and hours of doing it, you really just memorize, okay, it's like the ads are over here now. The ads are over here. You can kind of just memorize the pattern, but yeah, it's still quite difficult, but then it gives you a good appreciation for normal. When you see the ogre come up and some people are still a little worried and you're like, oh, no sweat, guys, I got this, even if no one else is around. So
yeah, there's a lot of muscle memory there.
I do have to say, after the 2-3 hour slog of doing it on Master, and as many times as we've done it just normal, like you said, it's muscle memory for sure, but it's almost easier to recover when you're just bringing new people through it. It's like, oh, you died. Well, I'll just grab this and go down here. And there's almost no communication that needs to be done because we just know.
Yeah. I mean, been running with so many groups now too, where and everyone kind of has different things, but what I've been doing when it's time to pass the brand, I prefer to have less talk on comms for multiple reasons. But what I'll do now is just run up to the person and just not be on the plate with them, but be a little in front of them, not totally blocking their view with the ads, but just a little in front of them, and they know to move forward when they want to swap the brand. It's obvious, and that way you don't even have to be like, what's your time? Blah, 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 all this talk and stuff. So you're right. I remember remember when we used to do Crown of Sorrow back in the day? I felt like you and me really could almost just mind meld and know what each other were doing when we were killing the ads.
Yeah, it's it's getting into that rhythm and that memory. But yeah, I agree. Very much like that.
Yeah. Des, I'm so excited for you to go through the raid if you can anytime soon. I will, like I said, I will any time of day or night. I will make sure I'm available. Roll out the red carpet.
Right.
You turn it into a
That'd be
podcast night
fantastic.
when you do it?
What?
Podcast night when we get him through there.
I don't know. Not the first.
Me.
No.
Why not?
If you want.
No.
If you want. But
No.
whatever. Well, okay, so we did that. I mean, you've done that. We've all been doing the Master Sum. Festival of the Lost. For me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about you, Sam?
Yeah.
You sound like you like to collect all the things. Are you going to be hitting it hard?
It would have been nice to start that the other night, but my shit's broken. I haven't tried it today, but I heard they fixed it or probably fixed it.
Yeah, it was fixed that same night.
Not when I played it.
You're probably doing something wrong. I mean, there are some minor things that are still kind of buggy, but not totally broken, like the first day.
Yeah.
So you saying you can't convert your pages that you get from activities in the haunted sectors to the spectral pages?
Correct. Not in my inventory. Not there. Don't exist.
But I mean, you first get the pages through the activities, right? And then they disappear once you do the Haunted Lost Sector?
Yep.
Hmm.
My initial stuff that you get from doing like the first couple quest steps, you'd usually get like one or two if I remember seeing it as they were dropping.
Mhm.
And then you go through the activity and then they convert them. You see them in the feed, go to turn them in. They're not there.
Yeah, but you got to get some more now. Yeah, those first ones were bugged. Did you get some more through just strikes or whatever?
Nope.
Of course not. Okay, moving on. God.
Jesus.
So I've played 0 of the activity.
Any
Thank you.
activity, you need to get some more sins since, yes, it was broken the first day. Just do anything. Do anything with the mask on, and then you will get the lower level pages. What the hell are they called before they're spectral? Anyways. Do anything, right? And then you need to get some more sins since the first ones are broken. And then you'll have some pages in your inventory. And then, oh yeah, maybe they're called spectral first. And then they go to manifested. Thanks in the chat. And then when you go back to the Lost Sector again, it'll work now, sin. But first you need to get some more pages. You can't just count that the ones that were broken and disappeared will just reappear magically. You do have to do some more activities.
That's lame.
Well, you have to do some more anyways if you're going to grind the event. So, that's how it was last year too. You got to do lots of the first and then lots of the second.
Well, I put on my helm, so we'll see.
Yes. But you think you're going to hit it hard?
No, I don't have time for that. I'm like
Would-
way behind on crafting weapons. I'm way behind on the seasonal weeklies. I still don't have touch.
Bugs suck.
Yeah. Shout out to, I think Muffin got it, and Philip got it the other night.
Nice.
Yeah, a few more people can get it here and there. So, well, that's okay, Sen. The activity's not that special anyways, but I guess if you like to collect all the things, you're going to be missing out. Oh, no. I'm trying to make you feel FOMO.
Yeah. I'll see. I'll see about getting it done. I don't know if I did buy the pass or whatever last year. I don't know if I'm going to buy it again this year.
Yeah, I mean, you only buy it if you feel like they show you ahead of time what you'll get, which is nice. And if any of those things look totally worth it, I guess the cat sparrow is kind of cool, but not worth $10 to me.
Maybe the emote.
Still not worth it.
Maybe the candy apple shell, but I probably
Okay,
will never
go ahead and
use
buy
it.
it, Send. and then, yeah. You can fund Bungie.
This stuff is like there's so much I probably would never use it. It would just be buying it to collect it and sit around on a shelf and collect dust. I'd much rather have the triumphs though.
Well, moving on. Thanks for coming on tonight, Kato, because I did want to talk that there's been some communication in the Destinyverse on if this new meta is a little too overblown with sidearms or not. I want to get some of your thoughts since you've played, and this is not a scientific study by any means. It can be different on PC versus console. It can be different as we play more, and metas are always shifting. But I thought I'd see if someone in the community had any opinions. So what do you think?
I don't honestly know if it was. Honestly, I think this whole meta shift is mainly because streamers are overhyping it. Your streamers and content creators are really pushing for a sidearm meta because everybody's talking about it, and now I'm seeing it more and more.
Wait, were they pushing for that? Because now I feel like today I was seeing that
I don't know.
they
per se
did
that
want
they were
sidearm.
pushing for it, but after what was it, the TWAB they released, they were talking about that change. It was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. The more popular.
Yeah,
streamers
of course
were
it's being
anyways.
talked about, yeah.
And I think that's really the only reason the meta even shifted. Like, the pulse rifle change, yeah, it's nice. Is it a big difference? No. The auto rifle change, kind of the same thing. Nothing really changed, in my opinion. The only thing I'm really seeing is sidearms just got a little bit easier to use, and you're just seeing more of it because everybody was talking about it.
Well, yeah, supposedly it's the main issue and is because of the rangefinder with the sidearm. Supposedly. And supposedly it's negating SMG archetypes, and sidearms are even coming hand in hand against hand cannons with the range that they're getting. And I always had the impression, that's why I'm surprised if streamers wanted sidearms, because I always had the impression, get good, the true Crucible players are the hand cannon players. So now they're going to be mad if sidearms can battle hand cannons.
I mean, I've always enjoyed sidearms, but I mean, Dez would know more than I would, but I do believe most sidearms have the faster time to kills anyways. They're just not as forgiving, and they don't have the range. Now you're giving them that little bit of, was it aim assist fall off that they lack?
Yeah, they weren't sticky at their full damage range.
Right.
I believe.
Yeah. Des, do you remember in D1, I feel like there was a fun sidearm meta towards the end. At least I was using sidearms in the Crucible.
I have a phantom clip of where I melted a super with a sidearm. So yeah, sidearms were pretty strong. But no, the hilarious thing is, as y'all are talking, sidearms have always been strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 3-round burst sidearms is the gospel I've been preaching for years, because 3-round burst sidearms like Last Dance and I can't remember them all right now. But anyway, those types of sidearms have the same time to kill as the last word did. It's ridiculously fast. But now that people are hyping it up, and for, like I said, probably there was some attention to it, people are using it, people are pretty much just seeing sidearms now. They've always been strong, always.
Oh yeah, and I know that. I'm sure that's 80% of it. And since I don't go into Crucible much and know all these things, but is it potential the sidearms with Rangefinder are a little overclassed with what they
Okay,
did?
so from what Moose is saying, some sidearms are outdueling 180 hand cannons from what I've heard. Okay, point 1, 180 hand cannons suck. Don't use them. Stop it. You're talking about a hand cannon that has a full 1 second time to kill. It sucks. Don't use it. It's like 360 RPM auto rifles in Crucible. Don't do it. They're too slow. But no, so yes, of course 180 hand cannons are getting outdueled. They pretty much have the worst time to kill out of any. Who's using 180s anyway? Those people need to be like mentally evaluated, I think. Which is sad because I love 180s. I love the way they feel, but no, they're awful.
Yeah. On that point, though, last season that was one way to combat the Classy Restoration was to use Malfeasance, but that's its own case.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
past that, a 180 is just fucking terrible.
Yeah. Malfeasance. Yeah, it's probably about the best shot a 180 has at being any kind of relevant, to be honest. Because Lord knows when you get that invader boost. I mean, it was my exotic in Gambit for the longest time because of it. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've been preaching to many people over the years, as Kato could probably attest if he remembers. Depending on how often he zones me out, which could be often, and I wouldn't blame him. No, so yeah, 3-round burst and 2-round burst are absolutely lethal. Yep. So yeah, I mean,
It worked. It always worked well with my playstyle. Sidearms and I like fusion rifles a lot. I don't know how if they have as much play right now. I want to like hand cannons. I like using hand cannon. I mean, I love Sunshot 150, but that's kind of an interesting thing on its own, close to 140. But
Yeah.
that's a PvE thing. But I would certainly try it in PvP too. But I remember in D1 using like palindrome and stuff in Crucible and being okay with it for sure. I liked how they felt, hand cannons, and I like how sidearms feel too. And if anything, this is actually getting me a little excited to hop into Crucible, try some sidearms. Again, not that they weren't good already. I know, Des, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, I mean,
one of the things where I don't know, just hearing it makes me actually. I just wasn't constantly hearing it, so I just wasn't thinking about it.
oh no, because sidearms are incredibly niche because people probably take their crappy sidearm rolls into PvP and think, oh, just sidearms are awful. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The only thing they changed to rangefinder is they took off the... Hilariously, now that I think about it, sidearms benefit from the rangefinder nerf. Because sidearms had like a gimpy aim assist fall off,
Mm-hmm.
but they buffed that. And then they took away the aim assist fall off buff that rangefinder would give guns. So effectively, a sidearm with rangefinder can potentially just be a sidearm with rangefinder pre-nerf. But no, like legitimately nothing should have changed about it.
They just
It's
feel
just-
a little bit better. That's it.
I mean, yeah, it's just sidearms are just kind of like those sleeper weapons that not a lot of people used. But as anyone can attest, by running across someone that actually mained Sturm and Drang in PvP,
Oh, God.
yeah, Drang can be lethal in the right hands at absolutely stupid ranges. As I've felt many times. It's like, wait a minute, you're dueling me with Drang? I have a hand cannon. That's not right. I mean, these things have just always been there. It's just, for whatever reason, yeah, they're the thing now, and of course people are going to complain about them now because they're the thing.
Well, because their easy meta of a shotgun and an SMG is no longer as valid as it was.
I mean, yeah. But, yeah, oh well. I mean, it is what it is. Streamers will complain about it. Bungie may or may not do something. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. And it's just interesting because, there's always times there's certain complaints going on and stuff. But with the last two meta shifts, I didn't see as much of a complaint on Twitter. And with this one, it's just slightly more. And unscientific results, I could be wrong on keeping track of this, but people seem a little more upset this time around. Kind of those calls again for like, Destiny PvP's in the worst state it's ever been. Let's leave the game again, blah, 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 that type of talk.
People just need to shut their mouth because they wanted to leave PvP when it was the most balanced experience we ever had. And everyone hated it because it was quote unquote dull and boring. It's a team shot meta and you can't do anything. And yes, I'm talking about when D2 launched. When almost everything had like defined effective ranges and very close time to kill. Almost everything was viable. But, that's my estranged opinion.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, because, newer to the game and all that. But I don't feel like there's actually been a PvP meta shift from like arrivals when we had the 600 auto rifle meta. After that, it was 120s, and then it's been 140s and shotguns.
I mean, to be honest, there has been no real meta shift. I mean, other than the exact stupid ranges of 120s while in trials, yeah, that was about the closest. But, I mean, kind of a newsflash. 600s are still, 600s are still really strong, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just because people stop using them doesn't mean they're not strong. I mean, again, this is like my whole thing with the sidearms. People didn't use them didn't mean they weren't good.
Right.
Yeah.
And those, yeah, and Scoot mentioned a rangefinder called Punching Out. Punching Out is the Crucible rapid fire sidearm, right?
Vanguard, isn't it?
Vanguard. Could be Vanguard, but I think it's rapid fire. That's also rapid fire or the full auto sidearms by default.
Yeah.
Should be like the close third sidearm that I would personally use. Right after 3 burst, 2 burst, and rapid fire is like close behind it. I usually don't use any others because that's a whole lot of button mashing for pretty much any other sidearm.
I have been like before when I got home tonight, I jumped in and did like a solid 2 hours of Crucible. Just trying out different sidearms, different roles, all that wonderful thing. And like I said, they all still feel about the same as they did. There's nothing massively changed about it.
Mm.
They just feel a little bit better. I mean, you
Yeah.
still got to know what range you're working with. It's not like they just got this massive range bump.
I mean, and honestly, when Shiira's was like dueling auto rifle range,
Yeah, that was a problem.
but yet there wasn't. I don't feel like there was as much outcry
Right?
when these couple of SMGs were out dueling, were extending their range. And hilariously, that just got fixed.
I feel like the reason there wasn't as much of an outcry is because that was kind of, I wouldn't say being gatekept, but almost because it was in trials. You had to go into trials to get the gun.
I mean, at that point in time, barely. Because that's also when they made the trials rewards. Like,
Super
you know, they
easy.
made trials grindable, yeah. You didn't have to be good to get the trials weapons anymore.
Yeah, that's why I have a good messenger role.
Exactly. That's why I was able to fulfill my regret in the 30 plus regrets I had. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, reads regret also. Yep. You know, with the unstop, in Kingsley right now, I'm always rocking my messenger with killing one in Desperado, having fun with it.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just the case of a sleeper weapon being brought into a spotlight, and now people are realizing it's like, oh wait, it's not a niche thing anymore. It's as if,
Yeah,
I think it's Monkey and GDC. They
Mhm.
use the
Kill 'em Monkey.
glaives. Yeah.
Glaive and
Yes. Yeah. Who else? There was somebody else. But either way, it's like as if they made a slight change to glaives, and then everyone was using glaives, and like, oh my god, glaives are now a problem because of the buff. It's like,
No,
probably
they've been
not.
a problem.
But I mean, like I said, it would be like a similar thing that niche people can make it work, but once
Yeah.
they make a small change, a lot more people realize, oh hey, I can play with this. But yeah,
Kill 'em Monkey actually reminded me of a sidearm I hadn't touched since it came out, and that was Cryesthesia. And
mm,
that's been a lot of fun with the changes they made to it. They made it just a little bit easier to use.
yeah. I mean, that was also the key to a lot of this mid-season patch, though, was just wasn't really trying to make anything like strong or even shift the meta. They were just trying to make things that were outline good, just a little easier to use.
Right.
And it's worth auto rifles getting stability buffs and this, that, and the other. I mean,
Made things a little bit more, gave it a little more ease of use, which I think is great.
yeah. I think it was, yeah, in theory, this was a great balance. This was a great pass. Like I said, I can't even play it, but considering people are complaining about sidearms, I'm going to say they did a really good job.
Yeah, and I would say, but I just checked. Sin and Kato are doing strikes right now. But
Hey, you know what?
I was going to say, no, we roll like that here. I don't care. I should have joined strikes too. That I can not have to multitask much. But I was going to say, Sin, can you do a live update and hop in the Crucible also and tell us how you do with the sidearm?
We got one more after this.
Bet.
after the show, we'll have a Guardian Hub scrims, which we don't often do. But anyone could put these together. It's probably not going to be me putting together a PvP thing. So
You don't say.
well, Sin, you should put it together if you care sometime. Kato
One of
can.
the sidearms I did play with earlier was Trespasser.
Oh no, Trespasser's stupid. No. That thing was good beforehand. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was good beforehand, but now it's even better.
I mean, yeah, that thing. That I was so happy when that thing came back. The super burst just melting people, and it's like, oh, it's D1 all over again. Oh,
I mean, I was going on some streaks with it earlier. There was no reason for it either. It's just that little bit of aim assist that they changed.
oh yeah. I mean, just a little bit of aim assist can do wonders. I mean, look at Mythoclast. Like
True.
when they finally kind of put the nail in the coffin was when they just barely like tweaked down that aim assist. Like ease of use can be a powerful thing, yes, but that's the thing. Sidearms have always been good. I mean, it's just kind of the plain and simple of it. Like why haven't more people use them? Who knows? I don't know. But on paper, they've just always been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and like it's. I almost feel like the Destiny community has to find something to complain about after an amount of time, or else they just, they have to have something to like quote unquote. I'm gonna leave this game forever because this is just toxic and unbearable.
They do for sure. They do for sure. But I just feel still like there was something a little bit more complainy this time. I feel like the last two times we had weapon patches and meta, well, what they call meta shifts or whatever. But this time, within a day, it was crazy on Twitter and lots of people saying stuff. Where before I was kind of like, we don't like this, but. And I just don't understand. Again, unless they think like the tryhards think you're only good if you're good with hand cannon or something. That's the only thing I can guess. But
I guess like Des said earlier, most sidearms have the same time to kill as last word. So imagine going from a meta where you completely dominate with your shotgun and 140 to now everybody's, I wouldn't say on an even field, but closer to even, just because they made them just a little bit easier to use, a little bit more forgiving than what they were. And now it's like a 0.6, 0.57 something time to kill. They're stupid fast.
Yeah, for 3 rounds. I mean, you're talking about an archetype that slowest time to kill was like a 0.8, I think, which is still like ridiculously competitive. Because I mean, again, 600 RPM auto rifles were about, I want to say about 0.8, 0.9. So, I mean, still, when your worst time to kill in an archetype is pretty much matching the best time to kill, like I said, on paper, they've always been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. Anything else you noticed? Anything you're noticing like ability changes, or probably not too much, but any other thing you noticed, Kato, or was that pretty much it?
Adaptive frame pulse rifles feel pretty good too. With the slight change they did there. I mean,
that was the handling, wasn't it?
You're gonna ask me.
Where's our chart from last week?
Actually, hold on.
There's infographics now that make this a little bit easier to find.
Right.
Pulse rifles handling. Okay, adaptive frame crits went up, but then again, they also changed. Yeah, they didn't actually change the time to kill on them, but still, yeah, a little more damaging. So yeah, that's fair. And that's adaptive is the same archetype, or at least functionally, as the battler, right?
No.
Or is battler? No, okay.
Battler
I couldn't
is
remember.
aggressive.
Okay. Is it? I don't feel that's right.
It's a 450, so
Okay, fair.
but I mean it's nice. It's not a massive change, but just
Alright.
a little bit. I didn't try out a bow. That's a meh kind of thing.
I mean, we can't all be Mias.
Right?
God, I'm actually looking, and sidearms, they just ups the aim assist more often, and that is legitimately it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see the hubbub.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because Sidearms got that little bit of a increase and SMGs kind of got knocked down. Well,
I
no,
mean,
they did.
not really.
Precisions went up.
Yeah, they
Lightweights went
wanted,
down.
because they wanted to differentiate the feel between lightweight and precision, so they didn't really change them a lot. But I will say, I think because here's the funny thing. Even in D1, sidearms were kind of anti-meta to shotgun strats.
Yeah.
You basically had to learn when someone's rushing you, just walk back and start firing, and basically hope you live.
Yeah.
But yeah, by increasing that aim assist fall off by just a little bit, it makes that strategy harder. And that because also hilariously, a lot of your high profile PvP guys, despite them complaining about shotgun apes, you're all going to see them. Yeah, you're all going to see them using shotguns and telling you which shotguns are the best shotguns to use and for like the most kill range.
Yeah.
And if your counter strategy just got better, I mean, that could probably be the closest reason I could see to the streamers at least complaining. Which of course, like sheep, are gonna follow their shepherd into mimicking whatever they say. Which is the most disappointing part of me about like a majority of
No.
the more social media active part of the Destiny fan base is a lot of them don't seem to be able to come to their own conclusions.
Right.
They parrot whatever their content creators say. But
Yep.
that's a whole nother rabbit hole for me that I won't get into right now.
Was there something
That's
else,
just the
Kato,
way-
you were going to say?
Thanks, dude.
I don't know.
Okay.
Des kind of hit that right on the head. I mean,
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
pretty much.
Well, we have 3 weeks of the Halloween event, and then it looks like we have Iron Banner the week after that. So remember, it's never during other things. And then after that, we have the rumored community building event. It could be pretty cool, hopefully. But we're what? A little more than halfway through the season, right about halfway mark. A little after halfway mark. So we still have a bit to go. But
More time
I'm
for
still
me to get Kingslayer.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of. Well, yeah, you can get it
You'll have
whenever.
5 weeks.
Yeah, that's true because you got to do all the things. But
Mhm.
I'm always down for more raiding. But other than that, I can't see myself hopping in the Halloween event much. So I am excited if there's any other games I might hop into.
I'm probably going to grind out the title for the Halloween event this weekend.
Nice.
And then not touch Destiny for a week.
It actually looks like it won't be that hard to grind. I feel like last
No.
year was longer. So I may do
I
it
don't know.
too, even though I don't care about this event.
The grind wasn't actually even that bad last year.
Okay.
What made the grind worse was just if you really wanted a good Jurassic Green, which I kind of did. So I kind of hit it pretty hard. But yeah, the grind itself was not that bad. Like even for grinding the weapon, it really wasn't that bad. It's kind of nice, like mindless fun to be, or not mindless fun, but just a mindless thing to do
Right.
after a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sin, you say you don't have time, but there's definitely things you can triple dip and quadruple dip right now. If you're leveling
trying.
weapons, if you're leveling weapons, if you need to do that, if you need to do the seasonal challenges, if you need to do the Halloween challenges, and even some other things, you can at least triple dip with a lot of these things. So, in a way, it might be, if you have any time at all, slightly more these next couple weeks than before, maybe it wasn't such a bad thing because now you can do more effectively right now at the same time.
Maybe like strikes right now and stasis and yeah, there's a lot there. And I'm leveling up this Plank's Stride because I believe this is one of them that you need to get to level 10 at least.
Yeah, it's seasonal weapon, 3 seasonal weapons. That's what I was just going to mention too. I got my Brigand's Law to level 10, and then I'm working on Tarnished Metal right now and Blood Feud, and then I'll have my 3 seasonal weapons. And then at the same time, even though I already have a really good Taipan RNG drop, triple tap firing line, I have a crafted one too that I've also been just putting on. So at the end of activities, it just slowly levels up, and it's at level 6 now, and eventually I'll get that on triple tap firing line also, so that eventually I'll get the enhanced ones, even though they're not that much better. It'll still be just something nice to have, kind of like a background thing. So the thing about weapon crafting, I'd give it like a B plus, A minus. If there's a weapon I really like, I think it is kind of fun and kind of worth it. I just still wish the grind was just a little bit less. I've said this before, I like that you have to get the patterns for it. That makes it seem meaningful, but how many kills you have to get and how much you have to grind to actually get it to level 10 or 12 or 20 for whatever perks you want can take forever. Like literally forever.
Yeah.
And then they don't stay unlockable. You know what I mean? They do, but like you can't do another weapon and have them unlocked already.
Yeah, you can't level one and then accidentally delete it or just
another
one with a different role. No, you got to level the second one up too.
Yep. Like, come on, at least change that. Then I'd feel more like it's okay with the grind. But again, B plus, A minus, somewhere right around there. But we do have an interesting thing, a little line they dropped in the TWAB, and we don't know what it means. It might be something related to something. Des, anything you want to talk about on the TWAB? It's pretty light for the most part.
I don't know. I actually didn't see much in this month, to be honest.
Okay, well then just read
except for
the line.
Your one cryptic clue.
Yeah, the second section down, the last line under the playlist weapons. I don't know if you got the graphic I sent in our chat.
Oh well, that's a good point. So here I am trying to pull up the thing, and I can just
these graphics make our life easier. Why not, right?
They really do. Oh, before I do that, I will make mention. They did tell us that there will be certain weapons leaving the loot pools of certain activities next season.
Oh yeah, yep. Really, that's the whole main interesting area of the TWAB is that second area down on the left.
Yeah. So what? The Forge's Pledge, Pulse Rifle, and the Reese Walker from Iron Banner will be rotating out. Aisha's Embrace and Reed's Regret will be rotating out, and Silicon Aroma and Duty Bound will be rotating out of Nightball loot rotations. What's coming in? Who knows? They also give us the one cryptic clue. New feature. Legacy Focusing, teased for Lightfall / Season 20. What is it? They didn't say.
They did not say at all. That's all they said.
They just said, hey, we got this thing called Legacy Focusing Company. You're coming, but we don't really have enough to say, so yeah.
Oh my gosh, everyone panic. Okay, but focusing, they didn't use the word crafting, so if I had to guess, weapon or armor, older stuff that you can kind of like focus at. So it's somewhat RNG, but not as much, but not necessarily crafting. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I didn't see that because I didn't read the 12. But what if they actually gave us, armor focusing? Like not focusing, I guess, but more or less like you said, crafting.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't
But they use the word focusing, so if it's crafting, I feel like they would have used the word crafting, but I don't
I
know.
don't know.
And that could be
All we
coming
know
too.
is all we know is legitimately 2 words: legacy focusing.
Can we
That's it.
focus an old raid? That's what I want to do.
Can we speculate for the next 3 hours over it?
Yes.
I mean, we could, because there's a lot that can be gone. Legacy focusing. They could.
Can we as a community put in votes and focus down to getting Wrath of the Machine back next?
Old. You don't have to threaten me with a good time on that one.
Right.
Kato's going to be so sick of this when it comes back. We've talked it up so much that he's going to be like,
Right.
the raid was just
That'd be
okay.
The worst raid ever.
That'd be so funny.
Right. Oh no, but the Zamboni makes it all worth it. Like,
Well, yeah,
just
that's
that
just the fun
makes it
part.
like that makes it like all worth it.
But even the end parts where you really see like, oh, a D1 raid where people had to do, everyone had to pull their weight and do different things. Kind of like the end of Garden, but not quite, but kind of. So
Sort of. I mean, at the same time, there was a way to. I mean, you didn't. There was a way to do it, but then there was the way to do it faster with more mechanics if people were paying attention. So I mean, so much to Wrath. It just was fantastic because we didn't, hilariously, especially by the end, we didn't even need the extra mechanic. It was just people were paying attention. Sometimes they do it.
Yeah. But then on the hard mode, which they would, I don't know if they would add this as a challenge or just have it in by default. But on the hard mode, remember there was even extra parts where you would need to go on the plates also and shoot just from there. You couldn't shoot from anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of like a third element added in. So think of okay, how would you like a raid boss, Kato, that is teleporting all around the arena? People get to slam on his back to stun him, and then everyone just kind of swords him to death for a little bit. That's not the whole DPS, and then he teleports somewhere else. But then you're dealing with servitors that with matching elements and matching things that you're throwing back and forth between people, and then he teleports again. Someone else has to jump on his back, stun him, and then everyone starts sorting him again. I mean, there was a lot of movement to it. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, it sounds fun, I guess. I don't know. That's
I mean,
I love this.
think of a Scorch Cannon, but of every
Mhm.
element.
Well, except stasis.
Well,
They
yeah,
didn't have that back then.
we didn't have stasis in D1
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in our day. But no, so yeah, a Scorch Cannon of every element. And then you had to pay attention to where Servitor responds, because the Servitor needs to be killed by a specific element of Scorch Cannon, which I guess technically wouldn't really be a Scorch Cannon if it wasn't. So anyway, neither here nor there.
And then that drops a thing you have to throw somewhere specifically
Yes.
at the same time with other people.
Oh, you want to talk about communication nightmare? God, that was.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and then
sometimes,
people get the debuff, and if you're the person on the same side with your partner, you got to move to the other side of the arena separately quickly because the boss may go over there. So yeah, a lot of moving around, communication. Yeah,
basically think Crown, but not quite as hectic.
I didn't do Crown.
Dang it, Kato, you're just no fun. You're just a fun sucker.
Get a completion of it, okay? My bad.
God.
you're not a true
Damn it,
Destiny player.
Jesus.
Negative.
We just got this lame Kingsfall raid right now. But hey, it's holding its interest with me longer than Volta Glass, that's for sure.
I think that's the important part, right?
Right? Yeah. and we'll have the dungeon soon enough. Another dungeon next season, and then another new raid.
So I love Scoot's explanation of King's or Breath of the Machine. It's like Val, but it's nothing like Val.
Okay.
I love that.
Pretty specific there.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally makes sense.
Actually, no. Yeah. There are. I can actually see that because there are similarities. There are similar mechanics in Val that I could see have like evolved from Wrath, just in a very different order and sometimes in very different ways. So yeah, I can actually get that. I can actually understand. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, okay, that's the
What the fuck, Moose?
TWAB. Unless there's anything else, there's an emblem. If you
Do art, you share
Do
it.
art.
The creator, one of the Bungie people, share it. You get that cool skeleton-looking emblem. I
Yeah.
was looking at that.
It's a pretty sick emblem, I do have to say.
Sick, dude. All right. Any questions for us in the chat? Otherwise, it's nice to have Kato on tonight to kind of give us some info about his experiences with PvP so far. I
Oh,
might
Kato?
hop in at some point.
What?
By the way, Marlboro Blacks, I approve.
Uh,
Is there something new to this, Sin, or are you just saying the same thing over and over again?
No, I actually got to try them.
Oh, so there is something new to it.
Yeah, I sent him a picture. I was like, "Gonna try these."
And for the people that may not understand what you're talking about, Sin, that are listening to the show, I mean, they probably know what Marlboro Blacks are, but
Yeah. So normally, like I've been vaping for the longest time now, and been down back in the car business. I ended up getting a pack of Marlboro Blacks because there's a couple people there that smoke, and I actually got to try them. So all the hype that all the time of knowing what Kato has been smoking, never actually tried it to see what the flavor profile was like on it, or actually how it tastes rather. But now I do.
your mind is
you know.
blown.
The taste would be the flavor profile. So
Yeah.
I mean,
You get where I'm coming from.
I've
Kind of.
actually tried them before long ago.
yeah.
So I can't even remember what they were like, to be honest. But then again, I was never a Marlboro person, so
They're pretty smooth. They have like the different, like the reds and the greens or whatever. And I was normally a reds guy. I'm the black reds. Much more smooth, I would say.
It's so funny hearing like these are terms that I do with hard drives in the computer industry. There's Seagate reds and greens and blacks, and they're different like drives depending on the quality and what you use them for. Like if it's a NAS or a server or just a computer. So, oh, it's just hilarious hearing all these like color terms for the different SIGs.
Yeah.
I always thought you were a West Virginia Slim, Sin.
No, definitely not.
Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, unless they taste gross. I don't know.
They're not good.
Okay. So you tried
they're
one.
not good.
Okay.
they're not bad. My wife used to smoke them.
Now, if we were talking about
No, they're actually called Virginia Slims, not West Virginia Slims.
yeah, I
right?
know.
Yeah.
No. Kato, what are the ones? I'm having a brain malfunction. The filterless ones that were pretty popular there for a while.
Camel non-filter?
No. The other ones.
Mm, American Spirits?
No. Hold on.
Really helpful.
The other one.
The other one. So there's more than two, and Sin thinks there's just one.
Right. The one.
The one.
Lucky strike.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
No.
Well, listeners, tell us what your favorite cigarette brand is. Anyways,
Virginia Slims. Sounds like something you would have to look up on the Urban Dictionary.
really?
Oh,
Oh,
you
because
may
West
not
Virginia.
want to.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It does sound like that, but also at the same time,
I don't
Not good.
advise it because it probably.
right?
Yeah.
You've heard of Virginia
Or-
Slims, but what's a West Virginia Slim? Well, it's the same thing, but just crazier.
Yeah. Except for it's your sister.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
we went
We're ending.
Great way to kill it.
I'm I'm allowed to make that joke since I live here.
You're smoking with your sister. Okay. That's about it, right? Nothing. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Thanks everyone in the chat. We really appreciate it. And thanks, Kato, for coming on. Anything else on your mind, state of the game, or anything else before we close out here? Nice to have you back, by the way, on the show again.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always
Yeah.
fun.
Always fun.
I can't. I don't know. I've been kind of just taking it easy. Really, I've only been hopping on, do my weekly raid, maybe a Sherpa, and Master Kingsfall challenges. That's really about it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to get burnt out. Do you have a plan for finishing the King's Fall Master? I know we had kind of a Friday group going. I told Scoot last week I had to hop out of this Friday, but do you personally have a plan to get yours done soon?
I think we're still trying for Friday.
Nice. Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get it because the last one is no harder than all the rest. It was really just kind of the first couple that were a little ball busting, but
Right. I'm not too concerned. I think we'll get it.
yeah.
Just whether or not we can find the people.
It really is just the funny thing about, okay, and I've been even saying this about normal mode, Daughters is becoming, since they made the nerf and the rockets don't work as well and everything, especially if you're sherping groups through, Daughters is like harder than Oryx because timing is so tight. And if you one kill the first one and then people slow down the second time, you're screwed. So you don't kill it. So you almost want to like two phase and then one or two phase after that. But my main point I was making is on Oryx Master, once you just get past the beginning part of just taking down the Ogre and the Light Eater Knights Master, Oryx is freaking easy. It doesn't seem that much harder than regular Orcs. It's easy to stay alive. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks everyone. Kato, where can people get a hold of you if they want to bug you? Just in the Discord?
Yeah. I do have a Twitter. I don't
Ooh.
use it.
So they shouldn't follow you or they should follow you?
I mean, you can if you want, but
Yeah.
it's there. I mean,
What
that's
is
what
it?
you're getting. It's Sin. What is it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not on Twitter right now.
We'll
think-
maybe
I
we'll look
think-
for it and we could put it in. See, you don't use it. That's it doesn't matter,
much.
people, but we may or may not put it in the show notes.
Mostly the Discord though.
Yeah. But yeah, you're all over the Discords. Obviously in our Guardian Hub Discord. I know you were a semi-recent guest over in Guardian Down podcast, and but we have friends with Potato Thumbs and all of the above. So you will see Kato around if you haven't seen him yet.
His handle is K Valermos.
Ooh, look at
Oh,
that.
See, he looked it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Trying to kill these pumpkin heads and
Remember, you want to get all 15 to get the. We don't want to kill the boss too quickly.
Yeah.
Live update. We are in a haunted sector. All right, Des, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @DHScore Raven, but of course, it is vastly easier to find me in the Discord. Currently at Don't Be a Dick.
I love it.
Forgot about that.
We're actually getting some name changes.
Right? Keep them coming because
I forget
I
who
was a
suggested
little late.
that one.
I was not looking it up because I know it from memory that it was entirely Elthums
Yeah,
that
yeah.
suggested that one. But anyway, but yeah, currently as that in the Discord and having a lot of interesting and great lore chats with people. Usually, for some reason, like most of my talks are becoming me educating people about what the Vex are, which is becoming
It's all about the Vex.
right. It's like almost everything like comes to me describing some facet of the Vex and like their origins or something. So very interesting. But anyway, yeah. Then
Sin.
do your
You
thing.
can find me on Twitter, sin_media, or next to you two lovely gents in the Discord. Kingslayer of the Macklemores. Take us out.
Yeah. My name in the Discord is now Kingslayer Mac. Someone suggested I change my name also. So there you have it. Everywhere else, I'm Kingsley Mac. Everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Discords. Well, other than Guardian Hub. And hey, if you want to find more about our show, including how to join our Discord, how to join our clan potentially, all the information about us, you can check us out on Twitter as The Guardian Hub or through our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Sin. Thank you, Des. And very special thanks to Kato. Thanks for coming on, everyone. We really appreciate...
Kingsley?
What? Oh, yeah, that thing. I thought I missed something. We really appreciate everyone that listens to the show week after week, and we will catch you again next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you.
Go Blacks.
Sin, how did we mess that up? We got 14 instead of 15.
I think we took a shield down.
Well, I didn't,
I
but I
probably
wasn't
did.
really paying attention.
I was just
You love how
Fucking
he used
Sin.
you love how he used the royal we.
I know. He always...
We screwed up. We probably took shield down.
After Dark Show, anyone want to yell at Sin, raise your hand. But fucking
There's the
Sin,
Geico
messing up the
piggies.
haunted sector.
Whee!
Moose.
Hello.
Hello.
Hold on.
Hey, you said you'd hopped in a little bit of Crucible, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've been using sidearms some more just because, like, oh, hey, bounties. I should probably do these just so I can try and hit max rank on the fucking season pass. And it was like,
That's
hey,
sweet.
these feel decent.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been using my Red War Drang as well with Sturm, so that's been kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Legit. Are you doing the Halloween event? Do you care about the Halloween event? Have you been doing it much?
I've done it some. It'll be like, play 5 or 6 rounds of Crucible. Oh, hey, I have some pages. Let me go do a haunted sector real quick.
Yeah. Yep, we were just doing that.
I like how I'm gaining a reputation in lore channels.
Oh, it's a
Hades mentioned
bonus.
Yeah. Hades mentioned like a thing
Yeah.
in the GDC
Yep.
lore channel, and all of a sudden it's like waiting patiently for death now. And it's like, give me
Yeah, I
time.
saw that.
I'm still gonna talk about this. Just give me a minute. Hang on.
I'll get there in a second.
Right?
There's too much stuff.
Yeah.
which went into like my huge Vex talk.
Vex is always an interesting conversation.
They are because they're the probably second weirdest thing we have in Destiny.
How's the first weirdest thing?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
The 9, hands down.
Oh
the
yeah,
9.
yeah.
That is a good one.
Okay.
The 9 is intelligent gravity.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
You can sum up the 9 as intelligent gravity. Yeah, that's the weirdest.
Sin is
Yeah.
the weirdest.
That's definitely some like Event Horizon sci-fi crap right there.